we came from a time when music was very important. Not just a little bit important. Music was everything to us. And because of the importance, it became our lives. And because it's that important, what we do, I think, because we do it from the heart, communicates to the next generation and the next generation and makes them want to do what we do. And I think that's the important thing. You know, we're one of the few bands that are still around, are still doing, making rock and roll the way it should be. And if that helps generate the next generation to keep playing live, to make themselves excited, to make their friends excited, and that's a really important thing.
Pues la verdad nos sentimos muy suertudos al respecto. Venimos de una época en donde la música lo era todo. Venimos de una época en donde la música revolucionó, que fue pues el rock. Entonces nos sentimos muy afortunados de ser pues parte de los pioneros de la música de este género y que la gente pueda seguir nuestros pasos y seamos inspiración para los jóvenes y las nuevas bandas.
Hola. ¿Cuál ha sido la manera en la que ustedes han influido en el rock? Que queremos escucharlo directamente de ustedes. ¿Cómo ha sido este movimiento de Deep Purple? ¿Y qué piensan acerca de las nuevas generaciones, de las nuevas bandas de rock que no logran colocarse como las bandas de su generación?
How do you think your music has influenced in nowadays music? And what do you think about the new rock bands that try to be as famous as you are? What do you think about the new rock music?
Well, we're not in a position to judge, and trying to be famous is not actually the name of the game. Trying to be what you are and express yourself naturally was what we always try to do. It's hard to judge because every new generation has its own haircut, its own clothes and its own music. And to a certain extent, although there's an overlap and certain influences from before, they tend to absorb contemporary issues rather than like technology and other things connected with their youth culture. So that's the most important thing to them. I think we can probably offer encouragement and some kind of background, but every generation is fresh and new.
Cada generación es nueva, cada generación tiene influencias diferentes, por ende pues es música diferente. Lo único que podemos hacer es empujarlos a seguir su camino. La fama no lo es todo en este camino de la música.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Raúl Reyes de la revista Metal Hammer. Después de cerrar este capítulo color púrpuro, ¿qué sigue para cada miembro de la banda?
What comes after this tour?
Hold on, Ian, hold on. That was a question. What comes after this tour?
Christmas. He's a man of very few words.
For Steve and I, Thanksgiving actually first, but it's the Americans. But
Navidad, pero para unos de la banda, pues Thanksgiving.
let me. There's somebody back over here in the corner. Hold on a second. Hold on, I'm trying. I'm going. I'm hustling. I'm trying. Yeah.
Deep Purple, welcome. Se dice que México es una de las cunas de los artistas. Ustedes ya van por un largo adiós. ¿Qué tal viene la larga bienvenida para los que vengan, para lo que sigue? Deep Purple no se acaba, porque finalmente seguimos siendo parte de algo. ¿Qué sigue para la gente? Para la gente, ¿qué es lo que viene ahorita?
Mexico is where most of artists start, so we would like to know what comes next after this concert. Is there anything new?
Well, we don't really know at the moment. I think this has been a long tour, the long goodbye tour, and the emphasis was on long. We didn't really know. A couple of years ago we were all a bit under the weather, and as we're all knocking on a bit, we thought the end was approaching. So it's a difficult thing to deal with psychologically in your head. But now we're all feeling a lot better, and I don't know. I think probably best if we take a good rest for a few months and then have a look at the future. But you know, I'm optimistic. I always think I'd like to think there's something around the corner. It's not a nice feeling to think it's all going to end. So we'll have to see how we all feel in a couple of months into the next year.
Aún no lo sabemos, es muy incierto. Bueno, pues el nombre de la gira es El Largo Adiós. Entonces, pues es lo que esperamos, pausarlo por un largo momento. Todavía no sabemos, estuvimos pensando en, pues, dejarlo hasta aquí, pero pues no queremos. Todo depende de cómo nos vayamos sintiendo.
Good evening, this is Chris for Vive la Cartelera. Out of all the tours that you have done, what is the most significant, the most memorable to you guys?
Después de todos los tours que han hecho, ¿cuál es el más significativo o el que más recuerdan?
Most significant tour, who wants it? Significant tour. I think the most memorable significant tour you did.
Well, after 50 years, that's pretty hard to remember.
Después de 50 años es muy difícil recordar.
I guess, yeah. Okay.
My first professional tour was 1965 with Roger Glover in a band called Episode 6, and we supported Dusty Springfield. We opened up for Dusty. I won't finish that statement, but the next best thing was 69 when we joined Deep Purple in August. So those were the two most significant. There have been many others along the road, but those were the best for me.
Hay muchos y es difícil decidirse, pero yo diría que el del 65 cuando fue mi primera gira con Roger Glover y el del 69.
I've got to say one thing.
That's it.
24 hours after I met these guys, being on stage in Mexico City was awesome. So that was my favorite.
Las 24 horas después de haber estado mi primera vez en la Ciudad de México con ellos fue fantástica.
When Ian and Roger joined the band, within a few months, we'd made a very successful record called Deep Purple in Rock. And we were doing some shows in the UK, and we did one show in Glasgow in Scotland. And something remarkable happened there. It wasn't a very big venue, maybe 2,000 people. But there were so many people trying to get into the show that the whole main street, and a huge street, was blocked off by people trying to get in. All the traffic stopped, the police couldn't clear it. And that lets us know that what we were doing had an effect on people, and that was very exciting.
En una gira que hicimos por el Reino Unido, una vez hubo una fila tan grande de personas que querían entrar a nuestro concierto que bloquearon el tráfico y era tan grande que ni siquiera la policía los podía detener, y fue ahí cuando nos dimos cuenta del impacto de nuestra música, de nuestra banda.
I think my favourite tour was the first one I did with the band when I stood in at very short notice for John Lord, and it was a wonderful summer tour of Europe. I just couldn't believe how great it was playing with the band and all the places, but the gig I remember most was in Athens. We played in an amphitheatre, and a lot of people who couldn't get in were standing on the top of a rock. And in the keyboard solo I played Zorba the Greek, and I looked up and they were dancing, and a guy fell off the cliff. I went, oh shit. But there was a net that caught him, he kind of bounced and he didn't die, but I'll never, and there was a full moon behind him. It was the most surreal, magical experience I've ever had on stage, just seeing this guy fall. And nobody in the band saw it. Yeah. That was mine.
Yo creo que uno de los momentos más significativos fue mi primerita gira con ellos. Todo fue asombroso. Incluso hubo unas anécdotas, bueno, pues bastante divertidas, en donde, muchas aventuras con ellos.
Hi guys, here. This is Oliver from We Are Magazine. Welcome to Mexico City once again. If you had to choose one song of all your discography, what would it be, that one that fills your heart, your mind, and your spirit of each one of you? Thank you.
Si pudieran escoger una canción de su discografía que los llenara en, bueno, pues su alma y su corazón, ¿cuál dirían que es?
So we'll go down the line here and start with Mr. Gillen.
Well, I have to say Speed King, because it was the first song we wrote together, and it was just a total cacophony of a blend of human chemistry and instruments in the rehearsal room. I had no idea, so I just blurted out these familiar lines that I'd been influenced by in my youth, and somehow it all came together. And it was a mixture of jailhouse rock and Good Golly Miss Molly and all those things. It was the most exciting moment in my life, so that would be my choice.
Yo diría que pues la primera canción que escribimos juntos, que es Speed King, fue simplemente una excelente química pues entre nosotros y entre nuestros instrumentos. Fue el momento más memorable.
Back in 1969, when Ian and I joined, the band didn't really have a sort of coherent direction. And we were playing live, we were playing universities and clubs and town halls all over the place. And live, the music was evolving into something that we'd not experienced before. But going in the studios are very kind of clinical places, and the atmosphere that was on stage wasn't really apparent in the studio until we did a song called Hard Loving Man. And that was when the live experience came into the studio, and I think that was the moment that our kind of identity really kind of cemented itself. So I'd have to say that.
En el 69, cuando Ian y yo nos sumamos al grupo, sentimos que no había una conexión entre nosotros, y después de un tiempo de estar juntos, de tocar en universidades, pues empezamos a sentir que había más unidad entre nosotros.
For me, it was the song Uncommon Man, because our producer asked us to improvise as a group in the studio, and we kept the improvisation as the intro to the song. And in fact, we still do part of it on stage. Yeah. It was in one take, and it was wonderful. And it's also got one of the most unusual riffs that a guitar and keyboard would probably ever play, and it's the horn line. Anyway, it's really something different, and it was the whole band coming together, and I love the fact that it was dedicated to John Lord, in the memory of John Lord.
Yo diría que fue Oncoming Man, porque fue la primera vez que nuestro productor nos pidió improvisar una canción, y fue cuando en realidad nos dimos cuenta de la química que había entre nosotros.
For me, I've made lots of tracks and albums that I'm really proud of and I really like listening to. But again, you sort of have to go back to some of the early songs where everything was very new, incredibly exciting because you hadn't experienced it before. There's another track on the In Rock record called Live in Wreck, which has a beautiful melodic guitar solo with some nice rhythmic drum interplaying between the notes of the solo. And occasionally I'll hear it on the radio, and it's one of those songs I go, oh, I must turn that up, because I'm not sure who it is till I hear it loud, and then it's me. That's right, Live and Wreck's a very important track in my head.
Esta canción, pues yo creo que es difícil escoger una, ya que estoy muy orgullosa acerca de muchos álbumes que he hecho y muchas canciones que hemos hecho también, pero pues creo que esta canción es de ese tipo de canciones que me hace querer subir el volumen de la radio y simplemente disfrutarla. A veces hasta me pregunto quién la escribió y me doy cuenta que pues fuimos nosotros.
Before I had the good fortune to join rock bands, I used to run bands in nightclubs, and I was in the north of England, up in Carlisle. and there was no record shops, but Virgin Records opened a mail order. That's Richard Branson, how he started. So I ordered 3 albums, and they arrived one day. It was Tapestry, Carole King, Tarkus, ELP, and In Rock, all on the same day. I mean, it was completely overwhelming, especially In Rock. I'd never heard anything like it. And my favourite track, I think, is Bloodsucker. I love it. I love playing it every night. It gives me such a thrill when we do it, you know, way. Especially the third verse when Ian goes.
Esta canción me gusta mucho, en especial el tercer verso cuando Ian empieza a tocar, me llena mucho de energía y pues es la que más me gusta. Esta es la última pregunta.
Sí, hola, ¿qué tal? Buenas tardes, Rafael Aparicio de Net Radio, de Vancouver, Canadá. Una pregunta, en esta gira tan larga que van a hacer de la despedida, y con todo respeto al guitarrista que tenemos aquí el día de hoy, ¿nunca han considerado volver a tocar con Ritchie Blackmore?
Have you ever considered playing again with Ritchie Blackmore?
1, 2, 3.
No.
Do you need to translate that? Do anybody need to translate that answer? I can translate that answer. Roger, you want to say?
I mean, that's unfortunate because Richie's a fantastic guitarist, and without Richie, we wouldn't be where we are. So, you know, we're all very proud to have worked with Richie. But he left the band and left us to carry on, and he's gone his own way and we've gone our own way, and we're happy he's happy, and we're also happy that we're happy. That's the way it is.
Es una lástima, ya que lo consideramos un guitarrista muy bueno, pero pues él decidió dejar la banda y pues cada quien tomó su camino y pues, ambos lados estamos muy felices.
Okay. Hemos vivido y hemos crecido escuchando la música de Deep Purple aquí en México desde antes que surgieran los conciertos, y México, y ustedes han marcado la historia en sus conciertos en alguna parte muy especial de la historia musical en México. En especial recuerdo ese memorable concierto que hicieron con la obra de John Lord junto con Ron James Dio, y ese ha sido de los conciertos más históricos que han dejado ustedes en la Ciudad de México. Y mi siguiente pregunta sería si hay algún proyecto de grabaciones inéditas que pudieran ustedes compartirnos.
Yes.
Is there some inedit material that you would like to share with us?
That's what he just said in that many words? Oh my God. I thought I was long-winded. Is there any unreleased material you would like to share? I heard Ronnie James Dio in there. Look, I don't know what just happened. But I think at the end of the day, is there any unreleased material that you may want to share at some point?
Very little, because our old management, when the band broke up in '76, released everything they could get. All live recordings and old stuff and stuff that didn't go on albums. So from the old days, I don't think there's anything left. There's a few bits and pieces from the last few years which may see the light of day one day, but I don't know how many, but 1 or 2, I guess.
One last question. I promised this woman way in the back here, so I'm going to let her give. Hold on. Promised this lady back here. Where is she? No, you're not a lady. What are you doing, man? Who? What? Where? Who? What? It's not you either. I don't know what just happened here. No, okay.
Buenas tardes, Mario Redondo de Rockadictos. Viendo toda la carrera que tienen ustedes, habiéndose convertido en unos grandes íconos del rock y sobre todo muy queridos aquí en México, quiero preguntarles a cada uno de ustedes ¿qué significa Deep Purple para cada uno hoy en día?
Translation, anybody?
Since you have become a very great band here in Mexico, what does Deep Purple mean for each of you?
Oh well, it's family. It's it's been a lifetime experience. It's a professional family. You know, we have our private, domestic families, and we have our musical family, and that's what Deep Purple is to me. Like any family, you go through your ups and downs and your illnesses and your divorces and your whatever, but the house needs redecorating every now and again, and we tend the garden, and the ethos has remained the same. So I'm a very happy family member of Deep Purple.
Me gusta que después de años juntos todo puede permanecer igual, que seguimos siendo amigos siempre, y pues soy un miembro muy feliz de la familia de Deep Purple.
Back in the 60s, if you joined a band, you were lucky to last a year or two. If you had a hit, it might be 3 or 4 years. But here we are 50 years later, and that's a surprise, and it's a constant surprise to me every single day of my life that we're still doing this. So, very thankful.
Me siento muy agradecido porque a partir de los 60 pues hemos estado 50 años juntos y es algo que pues nunca nos habíamos esperado. Estoy muy agradecido.
I agree with Ian.
Estoy de acuerdo con Ian.
Very nice, yes. You know, I've played with some wonderful musicians outside of Deep Purple. Everybody probably knows who they are. But when I'm with my friends in my band, it's like coming home. You know, I open my door, it's my house, it's my musical home. It's great fun playing with other people, and it's great to broaden your horizons, but playing with your band, with your guys, that's special.
He tenido una experiencia muy buena tocando con algunas otras personas. Es bueno intercambiar experiencias, pero creo que tocar con los chicos, tocar con mis amigos ha sido de las experiencias mejores que he tenido en mi vida.
It means I write nasty letters to my bank manager. Instead of the other way around, yeah.
Ahora vamos a presentar a los mexicráneos hechos por Gerardo Herrera.
Venga.
We are going to introduce this exhibition by Gerardo Herrera of Mexicráneos. And we're also going to introduce Mario Soto from Locos por el Arte. También vamos a presentarles a Mario Soto de Locos por el Arte.
Wow.
Well, good night, and we're very pleased to be here. Mexicráneos is a Mexican project from art to support art and artists, and we want to share these goals that is a symbol for Mexicans, from tradition and culture. And we would like you to have a very, very big band, the rock band that most of the Mexicans like. So it's a pleasure that you will have these skulls from us and our collection, and thank you very much for being here and to have this moment with us. And also thank Mexico City offices and also who supports arts in Mexico. Thank you very much.
Venga. Yeah.
Well, on behalf of Locos por el Arte, this is one present. What we do is we have handmade skulls on the street, and they're going to be here until Sunday. And we asked some of the artists to paint this for you guys. And this is more token from us to you. And at the same place, we're going to do an exhibition. We would like you to be our godfathers for this event. It's called Guitar Friends, and we're going to place it at the end of 2019 on the streets of Mexico, and then we're going to take it all around the world. And this is the first guitar we have, and it's made by an artist called Jim Blatt. This sign is made by Poliedra, and they painted each of you guys with a phoenix, or they tried to. And we would be very proud if you help us sign it.
No problem, thank you. Thank you.
So let's just stand up and just do a group photo, and then sit in the car. You'll do the photo up against the backdrop first, and then the guitar. With the score? All right.